Welcome to Stick at Night. I'm your host, Hudson County Commissioner Anthony L. Romano from Hudson County District 5, representing the cities of Hoboken and Jersey City. We're going to have an interesting show today. We're going to have someone who's doing a history of basketball in Hudson County, which we know is a hotbed of Hudson County, Rich Kaner. And we all know the trend towards physical fitness. And a rock star from Project Impact in Hoboken. She runs and manages the clubs for my good friend Xavier, and that's going to be Caroline Lallouch. So stay with us, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy both. You're going to get a history of one of the great sports of Hudson County, and you're going to get a view from one of our new, young, outstanding, energetic people and what she's doing to make physical fitness important to everyone in our county. So stay with us again. I'm Commissioner Anthony L. Romano. Thank you.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Welcome to Stick at Night. I'm your Commissioner, Anthony L. Romano. Let's start off tonight with Rich Kaner. Rich, you're doing a story on the history of Hudson County basketball. Hoops on the Hudson. First, tell us.
Hotbed on the Hudson.
Okay. Tell us first how you got into it and how's it going about?
Well, I've been involved with Hudson County basketball from the time for a long time. I was a player at Lincoln, then I played 1 year freshman ball at St. Peter's, but then I was one of the pioneers in placing American players with European and international jobs as basketball players with the teams over there. El Nardo Webster was my first client in 1969.
So you were a player's agent?
Correct. And I did also marketing work for attending marketing activities and situations for.
Wow, a long time ago. I was in the 7th grade.
And I started, so I had represented, I was with partners with a guy named Bill Madden, who went to school in Hoboken at Stevens Academy, then was a big star at Yale, and then became a prominent attorney.
How did this start now? Where are you at exactly with the book, and how is the reception you're getting to find who's ever alive?
Great, met with a lot of enthusiasm and interest, and we're in the, I'd say the last third. We're hoping to go to print late August, early September, and launch the book in late October when the basketball season is underway.
Well, the ironic thing is we just had basketball was the front page news the last 2 years. St. Peter's University last year, and this year, our favorite son wins the national championship from the royal family of Hudson County basketball, and that's Danny Hurley.
Correct.
And we were at the event with Danny, and it couldn't happen to such a better family and a better person than Danny.
It's just a first-class family, both on and off the court. And, speaking of those two events, we'll have a section titled Events That Shine the National Spotlight on Hudson County Basketball, of which there are many. I mean, it starts back in, I thought it was 1954 when Holy Cross with two Hudson County guys, Togo Palazzi and Tom Heinsohn, won the NIT, defeating Duquesne, which had Mickey Winograd of Lincoln High School as one of the stars of the team. But it even predates that. There was a John Mankin of Memorial. I don't know if you ever heard of him in the 40s. He was the leading scorer on Georgetown. They finished second to DePaul, I believe, in the national championship, which was at the Garden. But then going forward, you got Vinnie Ernst in 61 winning the MVP in the NIT, and then you go to 68 with the St. Peter's team beating Duke, the top-seeded El Nardo, scoring 51. And then you get into, I mean, there's so many. There's 77, there's Jim Boylan and Mike O'Corin, Marquette.
Spinacle, O'Corin, Boylan, that was during when I was growing up.
And then you got a lot of lesser-known, but equally as
Calandrillo, and he did good up there.
You got the Mercer County Junior College National Championship team, had 4 of the first 6 players that were from Hudson County.
Well, you even found my father. My father played at Ferris. And,
At Ferris, right.
Yeah, and I have
Yeah,
a
well,
pin.
what we did, we went back and obtained every Jersey Journal all-county team from 1940 for the boys, 1972 for the girls.
Wow.
And we entered anybody that made all-county first team, second team, third team, or honorable mention, we entered on an Excel spreadsheet. And then we tabulated them by school, by multiple honors.
Is
And
Mike Rooney? You hope you're in touch. You got Mike Rooney involved?
absolutely,
Coach
sure.
Rooney, great man.
No, he's
Just
one of
named
the
legend.
And you know, we're not only putting out a list of players of distinction for each high school, active and defunct, but then we're doing all decade teams.
Wow.
Which will be, you know.
So for the people in the audience, how can they, first of all, buy this book when it comes out? Number one. Number two, if they have contributions they could make that they might know to give you information from either family mementos or other ways, how does one get in touch with you?
Well, if they want to sign up on our mailing list, where they could also send any material that they might want us to consider.
What is your mailing? What is the mailing?
It's hoopshotbed@gmail.com.
Hoopshotbed@gmail.com for those in the audience that are interested in donating to this piece of Hudson County history that's being written by Rich. Rich, what's your timeline?
We're expecting to, or hoping to, launch the book, a printed version of it, late October. And I should also mention that hoopshotbed.com is the link to the website, which will give a good overview of the...
hoopshotbed.com.
Is the website, hoopshotbed@gmail.com. They can sign up for the mailing list.
So that's the website, and you had the Gmail for the mailing list.
And you know, we've, one of the points, one of the central themes will be, which hasn't really gotten too much publicity over the years, but I contend, as many other people do, Bob Hurley's in agreement and others are, that Hudson County, which is the smallest county in the state of New Jersey.
Not with heart.
What's that?
Not in heart.
No. But it has produced more top-level basketball players per capita than any similarly sized geographic area in the country.
When we come back from commercial break, we'll continue this interesting discussion about Hudson history with Rich Kana.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Welcome back to Stick at Night. I'm Commissioner Anthony Romano. Let's get back with Rich Kana and this interesting history of Hudson County basketball. Did you get to interview a lot of the players that are still with us?
Yes, we did. We numbered them: Mike O'Corin,
Jimmy Spinacle,
Jim Spinacle, Bill Raftery.
Bill Raff, Coach Raff from Seton Hall.
Gerald Govan, who played at Snyder and then played 9 years in the...
Well, we just lost El Nardo. Did you get to talk to El Nardo before he passed?
Not specifically for the interview. I mean, I have notes on some of his comments over the years.
What about Coach Hurley and the Hurleys?
Oh, Coach Hurley, sure, and the Jimmy Foster from your hometown.
From Hoboken,
and,
great. Played in the ABA and then in Europe, too.
He was, I always said he was as quick as Tiny Archibald. Really,
he was a great ball player.
And he's going to be there at our event on June 15th, among many
Tell
others.
us about the event coming up.
Yeah, we're going to introduce some of the content, the specific content of the book. Another one that's going to be very popular is a section called Colorful Characters of Hudson County, which there are many. The FA, and again, Hoboken. Here again, Hoboken takes the spotlight.
A lot of characters.
Jerry Malloy.
Jerry Malloy, a legend.
Pete Waversky just finished an article, a profile on Jerry Malloy that is going to be an award-winning article in my opinion.
When we were kids, he made sure every kid had a toy in Hoboken. He was just a phenomenal man. A lot of people don't realize, too, he was the basketball coach at St. Peter's.
Bob Hurley broke his record.
Wow.
Of 900 and some wins, and he also coached baseball.
Yes.
Pete Waversky played for him at St. Peter's, and just to give you a sample of one of the many great one-liners, in the article, I hadn't heard this one before, it's concerned baseball. He said when Pete was on the St. Peter's team, Jerry Malloy went out to the mound. A pitcher was getting hit pretty hard. And as he approached the mound, the pitcher said, "Coach, I'm not too tired to continue." And Jerry Malloy, without hesitation, said, "Yeah, but the outfield is off."
He was some Toastmaster too, and
I always used to say after I went to first 2 or 3 dinners that he was in a class by himself as a MC at a dinner, that this guy should have appeared on the Johnny Carson show 2 or 3 times a year or other network show. But they didn't have agents in those days, and for the secondary guys, and I'm sure if they did, he could have been promoted much more prominently.
So
anyway,
sponsorships. You talked about sponsorships. Tell us what that is.
We've been obtaining sponsorship ads. In some cases, it's a family or friend wanting to pay tribute to a family member that played.
I'm going to do that with my sponsorship
with Father Earl Markey. Absolutely.
Well, Father a memory of my father,
sure,
who played at Ferris and then got drafted right from graduation, went into World War II.
So we've had some of the some businesses that are nearby the high schools want to congratulate the long list of players that are going to be recognized. Plus other people in the basketball world that have heard about it, even have sent in sponsor. UB Brown, Jim Boeheim, the coach of Syracuse,
sure.
Frank Nicoletti from your nearby town of Weehawken, sure. And so we've had
Gene Sparta. Does Gene Sparta know? He coached the Hoboken teams for a long time too.
Who's that?
Gene Sparta.
Okay.
And how about Mike Grinelli? Mike Grinelli put girls basketball on the map.
While you were changing or trying, before, as you walked in, Mike Grinelli returned my call. I hadn't been in touch with him the first time.
Great coach.
Oh, yeah.
We had him up in the Y as kids. He went on to coach both St. Peter's and Hoboken High. He put soccer on the map with Matt Percantino, made it popular. Went on to set many records at St. Peter's University and at Hoboken High as both a soccer and a basketball coach, of the women's basketball coach. I think he...
And speaking of Hoboken, ex-coaches from Hoboken, about 8 weeks ago, Anthony Nicodemo Jr., who's the son of a great player, the first 1,000-point scorer in Jersey City, he and I had the privilege of having lunch with Joe Palermo of Hoboken.
My God. Joe's I taught with Joe. I was a rookie teacher, and he was ready to retire. That's how long ago that was.
He's 96, going to be 97, and he spent the winter in Edgewater at his son's house because he lives out in Lake
I have to get his number from you and Coach Grinelli, because I don't know if I have the right number. How about Albio Ceres before we end this?
Yeah, we did. We interviewed him. There were so many that, he had some good comments. In fact, he pointed out when he was talking about Mike Rooney, since you mentioned Rooney, he said Mike Rooney probably would have, if they had the 3-point shot when Mike Rooney was there, he might have scored 3,000 points in his career.
Great guy, Albio. Man's man, tough basketball player underneath. Got a lot of the St. Anthony's players. But, it's going to be a great thing that you're doing, Rich. We're going to be there to support you. I have to give you a sponsorship, too. And we're going to bring you back on the show as you get closer to this happening.
Be happy to come.
I mean that. So keep it up. And Pat's a great resource, our producer.
Very good.
Stay tuned with us as we come back. We're going to be getting into physical fitness with Project Impact and Caroline Lallouch.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Welcome back to Stick at Night, and with Impact Group Physical Fitness out of Hoboken and Jersey City is Carolyn Lallouch.
Yes.
All right, I got it right.
You did.
Carolyn, welcome. Your energy is just amazing.
Oh, thank
and
you.
your personality, and I could tell us about the history. I know the owner is a very, very wonderful person and a good friend. Xavier is a wonderful family man. So tell us how you got involved and how Xavier.
Yeah, it's sort of a crazy story. So I studied theater growing up, and while I was
that's where it comes
I know
from. Okay.
it's easy to tell, unfortunately.
No.
But while I was in college, I started getting into fitness as well. And actually, Xavier's wife was a client of mine when I was in Boston.
By the way, she's deputy chief medical,
She's amazing.
medical examiner of Manhattan County.
Yeah,
and
an
that's
incredible woman. And I had known her, so it was like, I've known her since about 2014, 2015, when she was still doing her residency at Harvard, and she would come take class at 6 in the morning every day, and we got to know each other because I was just starting out on my fitness journey. Then fast forward a little bit, I was teaching in the city, and I was teaching at a bunch of different fitness studios in the city, and then there was COVID, which sort of sent everybody's career, put it all on hold. And I wasn't really sure what to do with my time and what to do with myself, so I started filming online video classes for people, for the clients that I had in New York, and then it sort of grew, and I did it for over a year. So I was filming 6 classes a week for all of these different people. Some people I still have never met in person that I was training online during COVID, or 2020. And it started to sort of pick up steam a little bit, and one day I got a message from Tara, from Xavier's wife, saying she'd seen just from Facebook and Instagram what I'd been up to, and she wanted to meet, and she was like, I wonder, she's like, you know, my husband has some questions about fitness in New York, and I had no idea what that meant.
So you were based more in New York?
I was living in the city at the time. I'm from Connecticut, so I was back in Connecticut by the time this had all happened, because I wasn't living anywhere. I was in Virginia for half of COVID. I was in Connecticut for the other half. So we got on the phone, and he was basically like, I own this building. The ground floor is a fitness studio, but you know, due to a million reasons, they're not going to be in business. But I want to keep it a fitness studio. But I don't know about fitness, but I know about business. So I need someone that knows about fitness that wants to help me build a brand. And I was like, okay. I had no idea what to expect. I was like, well, I'd love to come see the space. I'd only been to Hoboken one other time before. But I remember the first time I came, and I fell completely in love with it. So I got to come back and meet up with Tara and Xavier and look at the space, and I fell in love with the space. I fell in love with Hoboken. I had I had no ties anywhere, and I had no career.
Where's your family, in Connecticut?
Anywhere in Connecticut, yeah. But I didn't have an apartment with a lease. You know, it was like I'd sort of really split. It felt like a whole new chapter. So when he was like, "Would you move to Hoboken?" I was like, "Okay, sure." So I moved in. I moved here by myself about 2.5 years ago, by myself, living alone for the first time. I didn't know anybody here, but I wanted to create a studio based on sort of the classes that I was doing.
Why?
Well, for a lot of reasons. One, I felt like the best part about a studio like this, and what was really important to me, beyond physical wellness and physical fitness and physical and mental health.
How do you find the niche with all the competition with the different clubs?
Exactly.
Crunch, New York Sports Club.
No, it's
What is
so
the niche
different.
that makes people want to go to Impact Group?
Right, so there's a couple. The most important, and I think the most that was important coming out of COVID, was that we are entirely body neutral and focused on mental health as much as physical health. So for a lot of people that had been basically locked in their homes for 1.5 years, felt really insecure about coming out and starting a gym again. And I'm sure you've seen it before, there can be a real toxic nature around the fitness industry, and people can feel really embarrassed if they haven't worked out for a long time. You know, I hear it all the time. People come in, they're like, don't judge me, I haven't worked out in a while, I'm getting into it. And we're really, really strict about the language that we use in the class. The other side of it is that the idea of a single format studio, so like just a bar studio or like just a Pilates studio. Now fitness is really accessible, especially after the pandemic. There's so many opportunities. You can just go on YouTube and find a class, you know, so what's the difference and why would someone pay money versus just going on YouTube? It's the people and it's the quality of the people. So I would, instead of forcing everyone to teach every class my way. I wanted to hire people that had their own strengths and that had experience and expertise in their own areas and let them be sort of the star of that format.
Well, you're the general manager of the
So
company?
I'm the founder of the studio and the managing director. So between both of our locations in Hoboken and Jersey City.
Just for our audience, give the addresses on both locations.
Yeah, sure. So the Hoboken studio is 603 Willow Avenue, and the Jersey City location is 160 First Street. So right in the Arts District downtown.
And your educational background is physical fitness also?
Yeah, fitness and theater. So I grew up dancing my entire life. So physical fitness has always been a huge part of my life. And I just sort of continued to build my education once I graduated college and moved to the city and taught.
Well, when we come back from commercial break, I want to ask you what makes you now make the jump. Is business that good to go into Jersey City? And what is usually the age grouping that you find in both Hoboken and in Jersey City? And also tell us, has the studio grown in your eyes, and where would you like to take it?
Absolutely.
We're going to be back in a few seconds rather, for Stick at Night, and I'm Anthony L. Romano, your commissioner. It's a very great conversation with a very important topic, physical fitness.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Welcome back. Let's continue this conversation with Carolyn on physical fitness. Carolyn, do you find that the age group in both locations is very young? Is it up and down? I mean, what do you feel?
So in my past experience, I was, especially teaching in the city, I was used to a fairly, not older demographic, but I would say like moms, like late 30s and older, mid to late 30s and older. I was actually really surprised when we opened in Hoboken, and so much of our demographic was like mid-20s to in the early 40s, I would say. But that's not to say that that's the only case. I mean, one of our clients just hit, she was our first client to hit 500 classes. And I know. And she's been with us from the very beginning, and she's definitely not one of our younger clients, but she's so dedicated. We have another client who's a little bit older, and she comes twice a day.
Is there weight training?
Yeah, so we have strength training. So we have 8 formats that we have in our classes and that we have at both locations, and they range from low impact to high impact. So the low impact classes will be the ones where you don't need sneakers. It's going to be not a lot of jumping, so that's going to be like the bar classes, the Pilates classes, and then we have like a yoga flow class as well. So we have a couple classes like that, and then on the other side of it is our like circuit training, strength training, HIIT classes, where you'll be wearing sneakers, jumping a little more, picking up heavier weights. We go up to like 20 pounds, so we're not doing like 100-pound bicep curls, but for a 45-minute class, you know, it's not like you're doing 10 reps of 100.
Do you teach classes still, or you just manage the
facility?
Yeah,
I teach. I mean, that's my biggest passion is teaching. I love teaching. That's what got me involved in it in the first place, and maybe it's from my performance background, but I really love the feeling of leading a class. So I teach about 15 to 17 classes a week still.
I could see your enthusiasm and how we all feel now. I agree with you as far as the importance of working out, both for not only physical conditioning, but also for mental, you know, that helps with stress and that. Do you find that other people feel that way? Do you believe that way? Do people come for that reason also, or just to come in, you know, to be muscleheads?
Well, I mean, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but the best feedback that we've ever gotten was people that found it so accessible on the daily that they didn't even plan on coming as much as they did, but because it wasn't so focused on doing the hardest workout or lifting the heaviest weights every single day, because it was more about, hey, come here, we're here for you, take it at your pace, modify if you need to modify, amplify if you need to amplify. And so we end up with people that have never worked out before versus like, we had an ex-NFL player that was coming for a while who got really injured, so he really wanted to take those low-impact classes. But he played for the Cleveland Browns. You know, he was like a huge, big, giant guy in our bar class, you know. But, you know, you can never know what someone's going through or what someone is looking for. So all you can do is offer the best product and just, you know, assume that the people are going to come.
Carolyn, do you, what you call it, do you for the audience benefit out there? Is it monthly payment? Like I know some places, there's so many different options. How do you work it?
So,
Like is it a package? Do you work? Can you
we have a ton of options. So we have 3 different membership options. You can pay month to month, no commitment. You can do a 12-month membership, which is a little bit less expensive, but you commit for the year, which is, I would say, what the majority of our members do. And then a lot of people that commute into the city that can only get there like once or twice a week. We also have a membership that's 8 classes a month. Besides that, we also have 5 and 10 packs that they don't expire, so you can sort of stock up on them and just come and drop in whenever you want to.
So how many, like for example, in a routine day, how many classes?
So our Hoboken location actually has 2 studios, so we can have both classes running at the same time. We end up with an average of about 11 or 12 classes a day.
Wow.
I know, it's a lot, but we do 30-minute express classes in one room and 45 minutes, which clients really like.
How many trainers you have? How many people, instructors, trainers?
Between the 2 studios, we have about 20 instructors.
Wow.
And a lot of them teach between both studios.
And how's Jersey City coming along?
Jersey City's so great. We love the location. The room is giant. It's very, very spacious. We fit about 25 people in there.
And it's downtown, correct?
Yeah, right in downtown Jersey City. It's right off the Grove Street stop and the Harsmith Cove light rail. So it's really, really easy to get to. No, it's doing so great. We have a really, really nice community growing there. We actually have a lot more guys coming. So if you're a guy and you're watching this and you're like, I don't know if I should come, you should totally come because we have plenty of guys that come take classes there. I would say more in Jersey City even than Hoboken.
Really?
Yeah, it's a way more varied demographic in Jersey City, which has been so exciting to learn about.
That's ironic because I always perceive it as the same type of demographic.
I know, and me too. I was expecting it, and it's totally different. But it's always kind of interesting. You know, you never know what you're going to get. So you kind of just have to rely on the fact that your product is good and the people that want to, you know, participate with it and interact with it are going to come.
Well, I mean, for those of you out in the audience, I suggest giving Impact Group a shot because just the enthusiasm, the energy, and you giving off such a positive vibe about what you're doing. And it is tough in Hoboken, Jersey City. Everywhere you turn, there's
very saturated.
Studio. I mean, it's saturated, and I guess because there are so many people that there's enough for everybody.
Yeah, it doesn't
and
have
I know
to be
a lot
a
of people
competition,
just
right?
change. A lot of people, like, they tell me, oh yeah, I don't see anymore where I work out. And so, well, we moved on. We change it. We move it around.
Yeah, totally.
So what's your next goal before we call it a shot?
Next goal, oh boy, I don't know if we can talk about it. But we have a couple of different locations in the works that we're looking at. So we're definitely looking to grow.
All right,
this is not the end.
Save it for our next time you're on
Of
the show. I'm Commissioner Anthony Romano for Stick at Night. Thank you. Stay safe and see you soon.